Good morning, folks. Hope everybody's off to a decent morning here. Um, as people join, I'm just taking attendance as they are wanting me to get a little bit more strict with attendance. Um, so thanks for getting here on time also. Makes our lives easier. Just a reminder, as you have a minute or two here to get the day started, that your your intro over the Chinese reading is due today at 10:59. So if you haven't finished that yet, somehow between now and end of third period, you need to get that done. All right, we are sitting here at a pretty soft 17. If you don't catch my reference, that's a reference to the game of blackjack, which you're too young to play. Anyways, okay, we'll move on and hope that we get some more people to join class here. There we go. Got one. All right. We got another one. Brennan Dixon. All right. I'm going to go ahead and take the screen share, guys, and get started. So, again, just want to say thanks for being on time and taking your education seriously. We're going to go to modules today, and I need you to kind of follow along with me. If you're looking at my screen, which I hope you are, this is the intro that's due at 10:59. Here's the document. Right now I've got 31 submissions. So if you haven't submitted it yet, please get that in by the end of third period. Yeah, do you have it on time? The reading is from right here, week number 8, textbook reading. And so that's where you'll find the answers. Okay. And I probably went over a handful of them in a lecture yesterday. All right. The next thing then is today, I'm going to need you to click on Chinese philosophy notes. I'm going to need you to actually upload this so you're going to be able to copy on it. Okay. So I need everybody to do that now. Where you are going to modules week number 8 and then week number 8 Chinese philosophies notes. Okay. Once you download it, it should look like this right here. Okay, so please go ahead and take care of that now. For those of you who are just coming into class, We are in week number 8 module, and then downloading week number 8 Chinese philosophy notes. Okay. The next thing that we're going to do then, once you've got that completed, is this is what we're going to be working off of in class today, which has week number 8 Chinese philosophies. So go ahead and click on that, and you want to either have that downloaded on your screen, or you can just read off of mine if you are able to make, split your screens. That's up to you. Okay, but that one will look like this right here. Okay, and so we're going to be using this short reading to kind of talk about the famous Chinese philosophical systems. And then you guys have a discussion post towards the end of the class, and then you'll have a little bit of time to work on your worksheet. Okay, your intro that's due. All right, so when you get to this point and you are either going to use my screen or you've downloaded both of these, please put the check yes in the participants box so that I know that you're ready to go, so we can start moving. So good, I got 4, 5, 6. Ten. $11. When you're ready to go, again, please click the yes button under participants so that I know that you are ready to go forward. All right, we're up to 16. That's great. If you need help, put it in the chat function. I can help you. All right, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go ahead and minimize this or make it a little smaller, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do this today. So there were 3 major philosophical systems that were started towards the end of the Zhou dynasty that was feudal. And these philosophical systems have had quite an impact on the world today because Confucianism and Taoism are still around. And many leaders around the world have used this idea of legalism to try to control people. And so today, basically by the end of this, we're trying to figure out how they view humans, how each philosophical system looks at humans, what they offer as solutions, and then what we think are positives and negatives. And we're going to fill that out in the note sheet. Okay, we'll start doing this together. So I'm going to go ahead and get us started from the reading here. And this is a little bit of an introduction, so I'll go ahead and take it. So, the fall of the Zhou dynasty, chaos for ancient China. Confucius came into the world of thought at a time of social chaos. The Zhou dynasty had recently collapsed, and China was in a constant state of war and violence. During this era, destruction came from a lack of social harmony. In early China, custom and tradition provided a sense of unity within the community. With the deterioration of tradition and the emergence of individuals desiring to break away from the group mentality, chaos and conflict arose. From this destructuring of Chinese society emerged 3 schools of thought: legalism, Confucianism, and Taoism. Okay, so these came about basically, like I said earlier, to try to fix the problems with the chaos in the Civil War during the Zhou Dynasty. Okay, so the first one we're going to look at is legalism. All right, so the legalists argued that what people understand best is force. They believe that man was incapable of governing himself and therefore should be governed by others. This is because man is naturally lustful, greedy, lazy, and jealous, and is almost always acting out of self-interest. They also thought that people were immediate in their thinking and could not sacrifice in the present to assume long-term gains. So, in our notes, I mean, you can do this, it's pretty easy, but basically, legalists thought that humans were, so I'm going to put this in my notes, their view of humanity was they thought because man is naturally greedy, lazy, and jealous, and is acting out of self-interest. When they say man, they mean mankind, like all men. Okay? So, all people. People are naturally lustful, greedy, lazy, and jealous, and almost always acting out of self-interest. The other thing he says is they like to make, I think, like short term. Instead of long term. All right, so let's see what their solution is then. The masses were thought by the legalists to want security, yet despise having to work for it themselves. Thus, they shouldn't trust a higher power with the establishment of security. For these reasons, the legalists argued that there must be laws that govern the people, punishable by strict measurements if they are broken. This implied a system of rewards and punishments, good versus bad, right and wrong, with no space for anything in between. So I need somebody to go ahead and volunteer to raise their hand and tell me how can you sum up what the legalist solution is to the problem of humanity? Zariah?
Not trust them?
Yeah, humans can't be trusted. And so what do we need to do because humans can't be trusted? What can we do? Kanan, what do you got?
Like, be strict with them and, be mean.
Be strict. What was the last one?
And be mean.
Yeah, strict. So strict laws and harsh laws, right? Are the only thing people are going to respect. What do they say about punishments? So it's really strict laws and harsh laws, and it's everything is right or wrong. No middle ground. Okay, so that's good. What do you guys think are some positives about this? Let's talk about positives of legalism. How could this help create a better organized society? How could this help solve the problem in China? What do you guys think? Ian?
There will be fewer criminals because of how harsh and extreme the punishments are.
All right, so fewer criminals and problems, right? I mean, because when there's a problem, it's taken care of. Solid. Okay. Ethan, what do you think?
Wait, is it just pros night now, or can
Yeah,
we put
just
cons?
pros right now.
Oh, okay. Wait, can you call me back when we do cons?
I can, but you can't give me anything else that's positive about this?
I guess long term. It's more long term thinking.
Okay, long-term thinking. I'm gonna put order. Like you have order to the madness of the world. Maybe that's good. Anything else that could be a positive? Anybody? All right, we'll go with that. It works for now. Let's talk about the negatives then. Negatives. I need to see if I can tab over there. I cannot. So hold space over here. Negatives. Okay, Ethan, you had your hand up first. What do you think is a negative?
Innocent people may be punished for a crime they did not commit.
Okay. Anybody else? Whoops. Innocent people may be punished. Ian.
There isn't much room for, like, I don't know how to put this into words. There isn't much room for thought in the whole government because it's so strict and tight. So they don't have a lot of, like, room for others' input.
Yeah, there's no room. So freedom of thought is essentially taken out completely. So no one else's voice is heard except for the people making the laws. Good. Any other negatives? Do people make mistakes sometimes?
Yes.
Yeah. But in this instance, they'll be killed. Okay, think about it this way. Like, speeding. The other day, I got pulled over speeding on the way to Michigan at 2 a.m. I was going a little too fast in my car with my kids in it and my wife. And the cop, was like, "You're going 79 and a 60." And I was like, "No, I really was going 85 and a 60." And I knew he said it down to 79 because he didn't want to give me the ultimate punishment, which is like reckless driving. Somehow I sweet talked my way out of it, but that was a mistake. That was stupid on my part. Now, did I deserve to die for it? No. It was speeding at 2 a.m. with no one on the road. Okay. So that's kind of what legalist idea is here. Okay, let's go to Confucianism. Okay, so the Confucian nature of man. All right, I'd like somebody to take over and read here, please. Can I get a hand raise? For somebody who can read loudly and clearly.
The first paragraph?
Yes, the Confucian nature of man. That's
Can
mankind.
I read it?
Go ahead.
Confucius believed that a just society began in the heart of the individual. If the individual holds true values, the individual's home will be true. And if a family is in good moral standing, the community, and therefore society, will be good. Confucius never stated whether men are born good or evil. He did, however, profess that humanity shared certain qualities, needs, and facilities, namely the ability to be conditioned through study and practice.
Okay, good. So, how would we summarize the Confucian nature of man? How Confucian viewed society and people. Looking for some more people to participate here. Come on, let's go. How can we sum this up? Davion.
To have compassion and empathy for others.
Okay. That's how humans are, that they have compassion and empathy for others. What else did Confucian believe? Humans need study and practice. You guys see that? So you need to be able to study and repeat the same thing over and over again to understand it. Okay. All right. What are some solutions? So we got to read through solutions paragraph. Zariah, thank you. Let's get somebody else to look at solutions here and read loudly. That was a great job by Zariah. Come on, folks. Who wants to raise their hand? Come on, period one. Somebody, Bueller. Ethan, go ahead.
Okay.
Read loudly, please.
Yep, I will. Confucius solution. Confucius saw ideas of the legalists as entirely too extreme. He believed that force and structure without compassion would smother society. He sought refuge in tradition, thinking that the only way to stir the chaos was to reincorporate practices and behaviors from China's golden age into the present. This glorious age he had so idolized was the height of the Zhou dynasty. Normals would occur for the people of China by looking into the past and slowly working themselves back into the traditions they have known and loved. This transformation process alone would bring people together under a common, familiar cause, and once it was fully undertaken, would aid in both government and shared mortality. According to Confucius, there were five key relationships. The father is kind and the son must be obedient. The husband must be fair and the wife must be obedient. The older brother must be fair and the younger brother must be obedient. The older friend must have wisdom and the younger friend must have respect. The ruler must be fair and the subjects must be loyalty. If followed correctly, it would look like this. 1. The group is more important than the individual. 2. It is necessary for you to know your place in society and accept it. 3. Education is critical for all leaders. 4. Women are inferior to men. And 5. Not doing your duty will bring you, your family, and society chaos and shame.
Okay, so according to Confucius, these things right here, these 5 relationships are called the 5 key relationships. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's on your quiz on Friday. You may want to be paying attention and write that down. Okay, and this still governs the way Chinese society. There's over 1 billion people in China, 1.4 billion, still follow mostly these same ideas, and so do other Eastern Asian cultures as well. Okay. So, for Confucianism solutions, okay, 5 key relationships. Create order in society. That order is down here. Group is more important than individual. Everyone knows their place. Education for leaders. Women are inferior to men always. And not doing your duty brings your family shame. Okay. All right. So let's think. What are some positives here? What are some positives under the Confucian view of society? Zariah.
They didn't have any harsh laws like legalism did.
Okay. Zoe.
It brings everyone together, so really nobody has a reason to hate each other.
Good. What else could be a positive? Ian?
It's not extremely strict, but it's also not like unorganized. And there's a lot of room for others' opinions and not just the main people who ruled.
Okay. You guys think educators should be leaders? Sorry, leaders should be educated? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so that's probably a positive thing. Let's go to the obvious negatives then. What's the first and foremost obvious negative here?
They didn't really like women that much as
Yeah.
most people.
Very little respect for women. What else could be a negative? Ian, you still have your hand up? Nope. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay. What else could be looked at as a negative? Is that it? That's the only negative you guys have? Ian?
I think that not having harsh laws, like, I mean, obviously not every law needs to be harsh, but not having some harsh laws could definitely be a negative.
Okay. Anybody else? Negative. Oh, are older people always wiser than younger people? Older friends always wiser than younger friends?
Yes.
Think so? Francesca, what do you think?
No, because sometimes your older friends don't know like something you may know. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So that respect chain that is followed, or the respect ladder, isn't always perfect, right? Sometimes it's good to learn from all people, not just the older people. Okay, sometimes it's necessary to learn from everyone in society. Okay, so that respect chain isn't always right. And you can't really question it in Confucianism. Okay, let's look at our last one then. And let's go to Taoism. All right, so can I get one more volunteer, please? This is pretty short. It's pretty obvious. Okay, Taoism. It's gonna be a third alternative solution. Ian, you want to read?
No.
Okay, your hand's up. That's why I asked. I'll go ahead and take this one. That's fine. So Taoism is a philosophy of nature that stresses humanity's need to adapt to its natural environment. The major themes of this philosophy are the corruption of civilization and the need for human simplicity and closeness to nature. The earliest Taoists taught that the universe was united by the Tao, or force of the universe. It was believed that personal gain caused conflict. This philosophy was vigorously opposed by a strong government. Taoists believe the best government places the least control on the people. The key goals of Taoists are live simply in nature, the fewer governmental controls, the better, and non-action before anything else. Okay, so let's go back to our graphic organizer then, and let's see what we can find here. So, how do Taoists view humanity? Go ahead and write it in your notes. Someone share it, please. Anybody want to summarize that? Zariah, what do you think?
Did they view humanity as like needing to adapt to nature?
Yeah, humanity is corrupt and needs to adapt to nature. Okay, like the natural way of being. Good. Which is more simple. All right. What are some solutions? They're pretty straightforward, right? Live simply. No government or very little government. And non-action, like doing nothing, is better than doing too much. All right. What do you guys think are some positives from this then? If everybody were to follow the system, what would some positives be? Diamond.
I don't think the earth will be as polluted as it is.
Good.
They seem really close to nature.
Good. Well, less pollution and more respect for everything, right? All living things. Good. Francesca.
It's a lot more laid back.
It is, in a sense, it's a lot more laid back. Agreed. What else? Zariah?
Peaceful.
Yep. Okay, anything else or positives?
I mean, there are no specific things saying that women were inferior, so that's
Yep.
what a confusion is on.
More equality for sure. Definitely. Good. Okay, let's look at negatives. What could be some negatives then for Taoism? Diamond, what do you think?
I kind of think the government will be a negative. Like, if there's not enough people to vote on something big, it might have like a big fight over it and something go wrong.
Yeah, and they advocate for basically no government. Do we need a government? I mean, that's kind of the question here. Their argument was that the government caused the problems. Like they're the ones that caused the social hierarchy and people to be selfish. So that's definitely a question. Good. What's another negative?
To add on to the government thing, like if there isn't a government, couldn't like the system just like collapse all of a sudden?
Yeah. So anarchy or chaos is still possible, right? Yeah. Good. Francesca.
It would be like a lot more chaotic. Well, not chaotic, but it's like a little too laid back. Like, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get stuff done.
Yeah. You could lose your rights or all of them if that happens too. You might gain them. You might feel like you're going to gain all of these rights, but you could lose them if it's too laid back. Anything else for the negative side of Taoism? Is it easy for humans to give up their selfish nature?
Yes.
No.
No. It's really difficult for us not to be selfish. Like I'm watching people on this Zoom and some people are holding long conversations with other people and clearly doing other things. and that's fine, but it's not necessarily helping the group at all. That's for sure. So that's just kind of a symbol of the selfishness of humanity. I mean, there's examples of it all the time. We were even told to do what's best for us some of the time and not what's best for all people. So this is kind of the idea. And this is one of the reasons, at the end of the day, does Taoism still exist? Yeah. China, Korea, Japan, some in Vietnam. Confucianism is at the heart and minds of almost all societies that were influenced by China after this. I told you the Han Dynasty embraced Confucianism, and they still believe in these 5 key relationships. And they don't say they believe in them. It's just a part of how they grow up and how they act. Legalism still exists for sure, because to an extent, we still live in a legalist society to this day, where there's this idea that if we're left to make our own decisions, we're going to eventually, and I hate to say it this way, but we're eventually going to eat our own kids. Okay, we would kill our own parents if we had to survive. And that whole idea of, the strongest survives or survival of the fittest is, again, human nature, that if you feel like you're stronger, you're going to punish other people. You're going to take what you want. And so ways to fix that, you have Confucianism, you have Taoism, okay? None of these are perfect. All of these have flaws, obviously, but all of them have some positives. Here's what I want you guys to do. This is going to be, I think this will be interesting. So under modules and week number 8, okay, you're going to go to 916 Chinese philosophy. Click on it, okay? And it says, you are the new Chinese emperor. Your task is unifying the country and bringing honor and prestige back to China. You have 3 oh, sorry. I'm going to edit this. That's dumb. You have 3 approaches to do this. Follow legalism, Confucianism, or Taoism. Look at your notes from today if you're not sure. Which approach do you take and why? Okay, so you are going to think about this, and you are going to respond with which one of these 3 approaches do you think you would take if you were the emperor and you need to unify an entire civilization, and why would you do that? Okay, you're going to publish it here. Obviously, there's not a perfect answer. It's an opinion. Just back it up with facts, and you'll get your full credit, 10 points. So you need to do this by the end of class. So that leaves us with only 5 minutes. Crud. Okay, try to get this done right now. Okay, and if you're not done, again, try to get it done here before the next class starts. You got 10 minutes till your next class starts. Okay. The only other reminder is then your intro needs to be turned in by 10:59. Okay. So I'm going to leave you guys to this. Obviously, if you don't want to stay on the Zoom, you can get off now. If you have questions, you can stay on.
How many sentences do you want us to make?
Just as much evidence as you need to support your answer. There's no minimum, no maximum.
Bye, Mr. B.
So yeah, thanks for your help today.
See you.
See ya.
Have a good day.
You too. Thanks.